Where's Peter?
Oh, good. Thank you,
You're
Lauren.
now recording.
Okay, bye. Go.
Oh, wait, Peter has to turn on his video so we can see. He doesn't look like a block.
Well, we got a lot of people here.
Peter, turn on your video.
What? Where on my video?
Can't see you.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
Tommy's coming.
there I
Yay!
am.
Mark,
Hello.
Hi.
the anchor at Pine Rock. That's good.
Oh, look at that. Oh, there's from Plymouth, New Hampshire.
Oh, Tommy's getting ready to join.
Oh, good. Warren is now at Jordan Pond, I believe.
Oh, someone figured that one out.
Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, right. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, you're up there. That's awesome.
Oh, that's the background.
Oh, Michelle.
It's a fake background.
Oh, I go for it.
Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Hi, Betsy Martin. Hi, Hannah's there. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there's Hannah. Hi.
Hi, Kelsey. Oh, this is
Hi.
great. Look at Leah. Oh my God, Leah, where are you?
She's in her net.
in my place.
Wow.
Say that again?
Where's Leah? I don't see Leah. Where's Leah?
I'm here.
Oh, there she
Oh,
is. I
there's
see her.
Patrick and
Okay.
Karen. Hi, guys.
Ah,
So,
Becky was trying to get on with her cell phone. She's just finished the kayak trip.
Peter.
Yeah, let's see
oh,
where.
good. Now, is everybody here?
Tom's here, but nobody can.
Oh,
Tommy's.
Patrick.
We can't see Tom. Tom, we can't see you.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Patrick.
Can you hear me?
Oh.
I can hear you.
And Kelsey's
There's
there. How's
Michelle.
Rocky?
Oh, there's.
Hi, I'm representing Devin. He's not able to video chat it,
I think so.
so
Becky Bash is on a little
Just me.
tiny island in Penobscot.
Oh,
Bay.
where is she?
Oh.
Supposed to be off today.
Well, she didn't
There you
make-
are, Tom.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Tommy.
I had to stop video was
Hello, Tom.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hi, Leah. Oh, God, look at she's in her office. Oh, all right, so it's 11 o'clock. I think everyone's here. So, just from a practical standpoint, I've been told that it's probably best for everyone to mute themselves and then put up your hand if you want to say something.
Okay, there's one more. Somebody's trying to join. Tom, I don't know how to do this. Can you send the password to Allie? She's trying to join.
There's a password?
Or Warren's link.
Oh,
If you send the link, the password's built into the link, so she won't need it.
all right. 1 second.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
Who's? Oh. I don't see her yet. What?
Karen. What happened to Karen?
Yeah, Karen.
I'm
Jenny.
I'm on my phone, so
Oh,
if
there
I
you are.
leave, yeah, I don't know how to do this, but anyway.
You disappeared. I was
So
concerned.
we're still just waiting for Allie?
Allie, yeah, she's got, Tom just sent her the password.
The
Okay.
link. Okay.
I mean, the link.
I just texted her to check her email.
Okay.
Good. Tommy, say hello to Helen for us.
Hi, Helen.
There she is.
Oh.
Hi, Allie.
Hey, Ellie.
Hi, Allie. Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I see her. No,
Hi,
I see-
Allie.
No, I don't see her.
I see.
You might have to scroll.
Scroll your
There she is. Yeah.
Okay.
Allie, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You told us to mute.
No, she's not muted. It's just very faint.
I'll get my headset. Hold on.
Oh, no, now I heard her. Okay, so anyway, if, for the, just from a practical standpoint, if everybody could mute themselves and put their hand up when they want to say something, then we'll proceed with the meeting. And let me also first say thank very much to Warren. Both Leah and Warren volunteered to host this. Warren won, he was first, and but appreciate both the hosting responsibility. It's very complicated. I have no idea what I'm doing, and maybe some other people do. But anyway, I can see everybody, and it's very nice to have everyone here in this modern way of getting together. The meeting format is going to be slightly different than usual. We're going to include old business with new business, thanks to Karen and Hannah for testing that. Hannah's not here, is she? I don't see her.
I'm here.
Oh, you are. There you
Hi.
go. Okay, thanks. I didn't see you before. Good. You're at your new home in Glasgow, right?
Yes, I
That's
am
terrific.
ready to type in my chaise lounge.
Good. All right, so let's proceed, and we'll start the meeting as usual with just a traditional moment of silence. If that means we all mute for a minute, and then we'll proceed. Okay, let's move on, and let's to begin with, let's review the minutes from 2019. Hannah, thanks to Hannah for putting that together, and with some editing from other people, and we have them. Hannah, do you want to say something about the minutes?
Are there any corrections that need to be made in the final version, or are we happy to accept them?
Anybody's hands going up? I don't see any.
I move that we accept the
I
draft minutes. Does anybody second?
do.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's move on to the what I consider the meat of the meeting, namely the treasurer's report, and Karen will do that. And also, thanks very much to Warren for pointing us to ways to document the minutes. Karen, you can explain. Warren can explain as well.
Yeah, I attached a spreadsheet to an email, but thanks to Warren, he made it much more readable and available on, was it Google Docs? Is that what it is, Warren?
Yeah, so we can all edit at the same time and drive Karen crazy. No, actually, I shared read links.
Oh, look, Warren has moved to Pendle Hill. That's
Well, I have the hard copy with my notes, and that's the official copy. So I'd like to begin with thanking everybody for paying all their assessments. I really appreciate that. So for 2020, all assessments have been paid. And speaking of assessments, I'd also like recorded in the minutes that the assessments did increase from $20 a share to $25 a share in 2020. And as well as that increase going forward, there will be an automatic increase of $1 a share beginning January 1st of 2021. So in 2021, the assessment fee will be $26 a share, and 2022, 27, et cetera, et cetera. And this is per an email that was sent to everybody on August 23rd of last year. I also encourage all to think about and develop a different or better way of caring for the property monetarily. And please submit your suggestions. We are open to anything and everything. So So that's that. And then on operating expenses, they did increase in 2020 due to a slight increase in insurance. It went up by $33. Property tax was increased by $676, and that's basically because the mill rate was increased this year to 16.3 versus 15.8 in the previous year. General maintenance also increased by about $1,000, and that was mostly caused by additional spring cleanup that was needed. There was a lot of fallen trees on the property because of various storms, and the boathouse road was blocked. And so anyway, oh, anyway. And also we did additional cutting back of some shrubs that were growing into Pine Rock. So that was the cause of the main cause of that increase in the general maintenance. So based on that increase, we're projecting that virtual rent for 2021 will be $5,836 per structure. So, and then in reference to repairs, repairs were increased this go round, mostly due to the leveling project at Pendle Hill and the reglazing of the windows at painting of windows at Sunset, painting and reglazing. But I'd like to point out something that I thought was good, that the assessments that we collected for 2020 did more than cover the repairs that we've incurred thus far this year. And I thought that was a goal, not always attainable, but we did do it so far this year, and hopefully this will be a trend for the future. And then lastly, combined with gifts, interest, and dividends, we are staying even monetarily. If you look at the total amount of money we had last year, we had about 74,000 plus, and now at this point in time we have 76,000. So we were able to maintain the property, pay for repairs, and still have our total money amount stay the same. And that's it for the treasurer report. Is there any questions?
I have a comment, not so much a question. And I'm very, very grateful to Karen and to Ron, because through their efforts that the work on Pendle Hill we found the initial assessment we had from somebody that Don had recommended to look at Pendle Hill was $58,000 or $54,000. And what we eventually did was more in the range of a little bit more than $4,000 and achieved the goal that we really wanted, so that it's really through their endeavors that this was brought about. And so I'm very grateful to them for that. And are there any other comments or any other questions?
Thank you, Karen and Ron.
Okay, well then we can move on. I think other questions may arise as we talk about each one of the structures having to do with the finances. But why don't we move on to the property review, and we'll start with the grounds, which I guess Michelle and I are supposed to comment on. there was a lot of wind damage and storm damage here this year, which has led to an increased cost for the grounds. Everything looks beautiful at the present time, and we have no current unusual problems. So sadly, there's not very many people walking around to see how beautiful things are. So later on, we'll send some pictures around to remind you that this place still exists, and look forward to actual people being here next year.
Excuse me, Peter, can somebody remove the Excel screenshot? I don't know if everybody sees. Oh, good. Thank you.
No, now that's been replaced by you.
Well, get rid of me.
So just a quick suggestion for everybody. If you want to see everybody at the same time, in the upper right, there's something called a gallery view. There's a little, looks like a little grid of checker squares in the upper right.
Oh,
and you
I
turn that
see.
on, you can see everybody all at the same time instead of just the person speaking or what you
Terrific.
shared.
Yeah, now I good. What a
Yeah,
crowd.
there you go.
Nice.
So if you make your window bigger, it makes everybody bigger. So
Okay, good. Thank you, Warren.
Or if you're on.
So that's
an iPad,
anything, pardon me?
If you're on an iPad, it's the upper left is where you see the gallery view. Looks like a grid.
Oh, but on the computer, it's the upper right. So anyway. So let's move on to the farmhouse. Michelle, you got something to want to say?
Yep, I'm muted. Things are going well here. There's a few cosmetic things that need to be done in terms of painting to preserve the wood. We're doing very well. There's no big expenses planned, and we're happy to be here. That's it.
Karen?
Any questions? No.
Karen, the barn?
There's no new raccoon poop, so that's a good good thing. And the attic looks pretty good. I think the cayenne pepper treatment has worked. There are on the first floor, the main part of the barn, there's some I'm not sure what caused it, but there's some wearing and like a divot and so forth, and so we probably need to do some work on the barn floor eventually. And also the little ramp that leads into the barn, it's getting pretty worn, and that will probably also should be replaced. I don't think anything immediately, but soon.
Oh, and I forgot when we were talking about the farmhouse that, and this comes up with the barn. Last year we were invested by porcupines and foxes and everything in the that were in the woodshed, and were actually finding their way into the ceiling of the kitchen. And so we had Bruce put some wire up there to block off the connection between the woodshed and the ceiling above the kitchen. And so far we've had no unfriendly porcupines or foxes in that area. Sadly, we don't have any foxes to watch play either, but Karen says she saw a couple over near Sunset, so they haven't left the property altogether. They just aren't welcome here. Okay, well, let's move on to Pendle Hill. Betsy, do you have anything to say?
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble unmuting. I have been getting all kinds of fabulous reports. Kindness of Karen. The floor looks fantastic that was fixed, and the men who did the job did such a great job that they cleared out around the foundation on the Pine Rock side of the building, and they put screening so that the little friendly animals of the field and forest cannot get underneath Pendle Hill anymore, except for the porch.
No, but there was one between the porch. and
No. And let's see. Oh, yes. Also, Bruce Chadburn took down the giant ancient birch tree that I've been fretting about for years that's on the north side of the building. So that's one less hazard. And having not seen Pendle Hill, I'm dependent upon you guys and Karen, who can tell us how, I mean, it sounds like all good things have happened. And I have nothing to add to Pendle Hill at this point.
I would just add one thing. The floor needs to be painted or treated somehow. That's just to
That's right.
be on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yep, good
Yeah.
point.
And two other things. They did such a good job of putting the wire on the perimeter of the house that now the varmints are going, they've made their home underneath the front porch where it wasn't, no wire was put. So there's an entrance and an exit I saw yesterday. It's active because there's poop on the deck. So, so we have asked Don, the property manager, to look into finding somebody to put the wire around all the porch area as well. And we're still trying to find somebody to put up a new gutter at Pendle Hill. The current gutters hasn't worked for a while, and that causes a lot of water to get underneath the porch and do yucky things. So we have some bids, and we're still just looking for the right price.
Yeah, and just for those of you who don't know, Don has just had on a Tuesday, I guess, a knee replacement down in the. And so he's not going to be available to do what he's doing. So Karen is sort of taken over, and while we're here to, get some help in doing some of these projects. Also, the other problem we're having is that Bruce is trying to retire. As much as we are trying to get him to not retire, he's not as available, and also he's isolating himself a little bit more. He's concerned about COVID, as we all are, but he says he has more risk factors than many people. So anyway, so he's not been around as much. Okay, well then that's, what about Sunset, Karen? You got anything to say about that?
Sunset, Bruce did finish the reglazing project on all the windows that he was assigned to do or paid to do. And Don did most of the painting of the windows. There's still a few that need to be painted, but that project is basically done. Other than that, I did want to mention that Don did look into painting the new screen door, the white new screen door that everyone loves so much, but he found out that if it's painted, it negates the warranty. I don't know what type of material it is. It's not wood, it's not metal, it's some fake material. So unfortunately, I think we're stuck with it being white, which, oh well. And the other thing that's going on with Sunset is we finally have found somebody, a roofing company, to do the other side of the roof, the deck side. And this is a project we've been putting off since 2012, but we got several quotes ranging from $3,000 to $4,000. And actually the cheapest quote seemed like the best, not just because it was cheap, but the best quality of work that would be performed. And so we're going to use Fowler's Roofing for that job.
Okay, now Judy, is there anything you want to say about the study? You're muted. You got to unmute.
I haven't seen it yet, so I have no idea what kind of shape it's in. So I hope we'll be over there in a week or two, so I will check it out then.
Okay, good. And boathouse, Karen.
The boathouse is in need of a new roof, and so we're looking into getting bids for a new roof. And we've had one, the company that's going to do the roof here at Sunset, we're asking them to give us a bid for the boathouse. So that's not something we would do this year, but they said they could give us a bid, and then if we wanted them to do the work next year, they'd be open to that.
Yeah, other interesting fact about the boathouse is that the roofer actually immediately fell in love with the boathouse when he came and looked at it. It was so complimentary as to its appearance and its construction, and also focused on the foundations that were put in by all of us many, many years ago, including Dad, and so that's sort of fun to have those outside views. Okay, let's.
And
By the way,
there's one other thing.
Yeah.
In regarding to the boathouse, there's two other things. The boathouse, the roofing company that has come out said that he was so impressed with the boathouse, he claims he's going to give us a low bid so that he can come back and do the work. Whether that's the case, I don't know. I'm sure it was a sales pitch. And I wanted to jump back. I'm sorry to do this, but just on Sunset, although Dad, Richard, Jenny's not here today, I just wanted to acknowledge that we still rely on his wisdom and expertise to give us guidance on what we need to do at Sunset. So I just would like that recorded.
Okay.
I also have Peter, I just want to make sure that on the boathouse, repair needs to be made on the clamps that secure the bottom of the doors. So that's just a small thing. We'll have Bruce or someone get on that, but it just on the record, it's a problem now. It's solvable because you can close it at the top.
What door?
Okay. Thank you.
Now, the Lake Association, Michelle, do you want to, there's somebody wanting to talk? Okay, but Michelle, could you do the Lake Association?
Is that fair?
No, you're not, you're muted.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, hi. The lake is in very, very good shape. The water temperature is amazing. It's just so nice and warm. The loon count is interesting. We've seen lots of loons, right near the dock. They're very friendly. They pop up and down, and 32 loons were counted in the official Audubon Society count that happens, I think, the fourth Saturday in July. 4 chicks were counted. This compares to last year's 48 in 2019. So, and there was no speculation on the, great change in the number. They're having a little problem with the fact that some people don't take in their docks at the right time, or their flotation devices get loose. So there's been a problem with some of these blue foamy things that I had a picture, but I can't figure out how to show it. But anyway, so what's happened is the blue foamy things break up into little pieces, and that's bad for the aquatic things. And I'd like to praise David Jenny for helping me rescue one of these big blue box. And we took it to the dump, and so the lake was clear. The blue bad guy ended up right near the beach at the boathouse. So we got it and brought it to the dump. So anyway, that's a lake report. The Lake Association did not have a meeting this year. If anyone is interested, I can send you a link to a report on eagles that was done by the Lake Association. So just email me and I'll email you back the link. Okay, over now. Any questions?
Yeah, Michelle. So no algae blooms with all the heat?
Not really.
Wow,
Well,
that's
let me
good
let me
sign.
just say, up until a couple of days ago, I noticed some grassy things, but you know, by and large, it's been okay.
Good.
And Karen
Water's clear.
has been down there more than I have in the last few days. Karen, did you see any other algae blooms?
I didn't see blooms, but the color of the lake is pretty green.
It is
It's,
green.
it's not clear at all. I was disappointed because it had been so clear in
Had
the last
been.
couple of years. So not sure. We need Tom's water expertise over here to figure out what's going on. But,
So, all right, now, here's, I don't understand this section, non-family rentals. What is that?
well, before we do that, Uncle Peter, can we, there was those two items that weren't on the, you know, spelled out on the agenda, the shared key and then the forest management plan.
Oh, yeah. Forest management, those of you to remember, we did have some trees removed and a plan having to do with maintenance of the forest. This was a program supported by the state, and we had the same person who did the same kind of forest management on the property, Mother's and now David's property over in Esselboro. And it was a 10-year plan, and I guess this year is the last year, Karen, is that right?
Yeah, it's 2020, it expires, so.
So the question is whether we'll try to contact see whether the person, I think it's a company was called Two Trees, whether they're still active, and see whether or not it's a good idea for them to do another survey and do some more cleaning up. What the advantage of using them is that there's not a cost to us. As a matter of fact, there's a bit of a profit because the trees that are cut down are sold and we get the money. And I think that, is there a tax incentive for that too, Karen?
I think the forest management plan, if you have one, there is.
Yeah.
Then there's the other way with the harvest, you have to claim that as income. So.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so that's something that we'll try to get around to this year before the summer is over. And what was the other thing, Karen?
Shared key. I know it's.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You mentioned that.
Yeah, it's a platform that we're not really using, but we have filled it with lots of useful information. So so far I've been just gifting the cost of keeping that going, and which I'm more than happy to continue. It's only $49 a year. I do think going forward or sometime in the future, it might be something that would benefit everyone as far as, you know, setting up times to come out or information on the property itself. So like I said, I don't mind. I'd rather just continue it since it's all got, you know, a bulk of data already loaded into it. And then once, if it is a tool that the corporation uses, then I would expect it would move over to a corporate expense rather than me just paying for it. So.
Okay, now the review of the current rental rates. Are there any questions about that? I mean, didn't we discuss that earlier? That Aaron, I'm confused. I don't know why it's on the list.
It's in the minutes.
Yeah, it's in the minutes. Yeah. So I think Hannah helped me out here. The minute template we're going to include all the time what the current rates are, I think is what we were going to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't in the template, I'm working off of the one that I sent out now. I just have current shareholders and rates and then nomination. There's more on the agenda than there is in the minutes template.
Oh dear, okay. Well, thank you, Michelle, no.
Yeah, going off of the minutes template, I think the non-family rental section was to discuss people who were coming up over the summer, obviously, that were out with the family, but that's not super useful this year because, barely anyone can go anyways. So I can just take that out for this year. But as to the review of virtual rent and rates, I'm not 100% sure where that one comes from. Sorry, I can't be more help.
I think the idea was that every year it would be good in the record to show what rental rates are or were for that year, so that going forward, if there was an increase, we had a way to compare. So, it's just sort of a verification of, if there was no change, then we don't need to make an issue of it. We could say they remain the same, just so that it's for the record. And I think that's why I think Betsy was asking about including that. Bets, do you remember your?
I don't remember, but I think it's a very good idea to include them because they're
Okay.
fuzzy.
Good. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
do you want to, so Sunset's rent rate would be still $75 a day for family and whatever, and so I don't know what Pendle Hills or.
Yeah.
It's listed in the minutes as 75 for family.
And so that's the same.
For family.
Yeah.
Family only, yeah, non-family was 100.
And for other people, that's up to the other people, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
like there was one relative that did such a good job bringing her own sheets and everything that even though not immediate family, people like 75 too.
If we really like them.
Want them back. Yeah.
So we can just say whatever's in the minutes last year is the same for this year.
Yeah.
People we
That's
like
fine. That's
$75. People we don't like $250.
Yeah.
I think that I'm for that.
Well, if people, it makes a huge difference, what they expect. If they expect the place to be a pristine Airbnb rental with all kinds of linens and chocolates on the pillow provided, then there's an increase in the price.
Okay, then now the election of officers.
Wait, there's something else regarding the current shareholders. I know I talked about what the rates will be, but it does, we need to record in the minutes that Richard Jenny gave his last 0.67 shares to Karen Jenny Galco in May of this year. So he is, Richard Jenny is no longer a shareholder.
Okay.
Okay, noted. All right, now the election of officers. Is there anybody that, the slate is apparently the same as it's always been for the last year anyway. And any.
And if you're willing to maintain as president for another year or two, then I would like to move that we keep the officers as they are.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
If you don't want the job, we can go that way too.
Well, for at least another year, I think.
That's the way it was for 2000.
Okay, so.
And I move to retain the existing management structure.
I second that.
Here.
Well.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what, Betsy?
Yes, Betsy.
I just wanted to be sure that it's clear that
Leah
Leah
is vice president.
is vice president. Is
Yeah.
that?
That's what it says in the slate
Perfect.
of officers that we're voting on to confirm.
Okay. Oh, fine. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Great.
Excellent.
Okay, well then, I guess that's it.
I got one more thing.
Good, good, good.
One more thing. So Michelle wanted to rent a pontoon boat last year.
Right.
Yes.
And so I have fixed that problem.
Oh, wow. You bought one.
Yeah.
Let's
You bought
see.
one?
So let me close this up. So this is our this is the new corporate pontoon boat. So I can bring it up next year. Hopefully we will have a vaccine and we can all enjoy this, but it's got a
Ooh.
lounge and back and it can hold like 12 people. It has a little potty curtain and it has lights and for nighttime. And anyways, there we go. So I will bring that up next year and hopefully
You really will, Lauren?
Amazing.
That is amazing.
It's 24 feet long. It's very comfortable. You can lounge anywhere, and it's got an 11-foot top to keep the sun out. And when you're cruising at 10 miles an hour, you can't even hear the engine. It's like an electric boat. It's so quiet. So
You are awesome,
How long have
Lauren.
you-
I guess if I have to fly out to visit, I will.
in fact, when we test drove it on a lake, we went within 15 feet of 2 loons.
Oh my God.
Literally, they were like it was so quiet and unobtrusive. They just sat right there and floated by us. It was amazing. So,
Wow.
anyway, pretty neat to go do a little sightseeing on the lake and have a barbecue.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Well,
where do you
this is
store
such
it?
wonderful news. I can hardly wait till next year.
it's parked right in front of the house right now. We've taken it out for hours out to Portsmouth and all over, and absolutely
Wow.
wonderful. Very very stable. Doesn't rock around or anything, and you can walk anywhere and it doesn't tip or tilt or anything. So it's a great.
So did you get rid of your other boat, Warren?
Yeah, the other boat we don't have, so this is the replacement. And we're so much happier because just for slow cruising around the bay, and it only drafts about 1.5 foot of water most, and
Wow.
gets great gas mileage. So wonderful.
Do you have to take it out every day? I mean, do you
Nope.
leave it in
We had
your
the
house?
bottom. We had the hull painted for salt, and it's got corrosion zincs on it and everything. So no, we just leave it in the salt water, and it's fine.
So when
Thank
it comes to Pine Rock, where will we store it? Will we
I
have
would,
to take
probably,
it
I
out?
would probably just take it into the lake for a day. Just probably launch
Wow.
it from the north end of the lake, and then people could go out for a day, day out, and then I just probably put it back in the trailer.
Oh, wow.
I was
Well,
already excited to
Wait a
come
second,
home next year, but oh my God.
Wait a second.
High speed boat.
No,
Look, the meeting's over. Now,
Yeah.
now we're gonna have some catch up time for some fun stuff. So Warren, go ahead.
Yeah.
Catch up. That's the big news. Is the boat news. So that's our news right now.
Very good news. So, Betsy and Martin, what about you? Do you have something to catch up with?
no,
Oh, wait.
we're suffering a great deal in our isolation in Gloucester. We just drove down to the harbor this morning. Martin did, and picked up a couple of
Lobster roll.
lobster roll kits and 2 pounds of gorgeous haddock. So we're fresh off the boat, and we're hiking with friends 1 or 2 days a week in the woods. So
When it's
we're
not too hot.
and we continue to be healthy, thank God.
And you're also cleaning your rugs.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, we
oh, that
did.
was-
We cleaned our rug.
That was fabulous. It was like $38. Thanks to some furniture guy, when they did the new carpet, he showed us these furniture slides, which you can put under the couch and whatever. In one hand, you can move the couch. So we moved everything to one side of the room, did it one half, let it dry overnight, and then did the other half. So it was like a new carpet.
Yeah, we did the whole thing in maybe 4 hours total max. Gorgeous.
Good.
So that's it for our big news.
Leah, can you tell us about your new adventures?
New adventures? Well, I spent the last 5 months redoing my garden. That was what I did when I was working. And now I'm back at work. So
And you're working for John Hancock?
Yes, working for John Hancock Financial Services, fabulous place. I just can't get over what.
That's different than what you had.
Oh, I left that job because they were killing me.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. They
Hey,
working
hey,
24
Mom.
hours a day, literally. I couldn't deal with it anymore, so I left. And then I just decided to take some time off. I had intended, I didn't, and it was coincidental that the virus came. It was so bizarre. It was like I left my job March 6th. And the next day, everything shut down.
Yeah.
So I took the time off, and then I started looking for a job in June, and it took me 3 weeks. A fabulous job. The benefits are amazing. The people are amazing. I just can't get over it. So that's the good news. And now I can't work on my garden anymore.
Also, you've been creating a new garden.
Yes, my botanic garden. Yes, that has been an absolute joy. I think it's 6 feet long and 20 feet back, 4 pots. It's really fabulous. If anybody wants to see it, I can invite you on my shared. I have a video of it. Judy,
I would love to see it.
Okay, I'll invite everybody, and you can just take a look at it because it's just been fabulous. And the other thing I've been doing is actually exercising. I am in ever been in absolutely the best shape. I bike ride, I kayak, everything. It's really great. So that's me. That's my update.
So PJ, you've moved to a whole new place.
Yes, we sold everything that we had before and bought a place up in Plymouth, New Hampshire on Tenny Mountain. It's about 100 meters from the chairlift. So we kept the place down on the Cape too. And what we're going to do is live here in the summer and fall, and down on the Cape in the winter and spring, and just rent out the properties alternately. It's a terrific place. We're right in the middle of renovations right now. We're having new wiring, new plumbing, having air conditioning put in, and basically everything you can change, we're changing.
Are you sitting on a porch now, or
we're sitting on a deck? Yeah, the deck wraps 3/4 of the way around the building. This is a corner view with shade, so you can't really get the view, but we're looking out over the White Mountain National Park, directly over the all the presidential ranges, which goes all the way out to Mount Washington
On a clear day.
on a clear day near the main border. It's close to fishing, boating, hiking, climbing. Plenty of good restaurants in Plymouth.
The lakes.
Coronavirus isn't a big deal up here. I think they had 1 case, and which added to the whole 719 that New Hampshire had. And it's a great place, and the dogs love it. They don't have to go up and down elevators to go outside. They hated that part. Now it's just back out to see the bears.
What's the ski resort nearby?
What?
What's the ski resort with the chairlift?
It's Tenny Mountain.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Jenny with a T, literally. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spoof the sign one of these days, just for fun.
So, Judy, what's going on with you?
Me?
Judy Harden.
Judy Harden. There you go.
Well, let's see. Dick turned 93 recently and still going and reasonably healthy. We have 2 new additions to our family, a dog and a cat. Cat is 2 years old, and the little dog weighs 35 pounds and is a sweetheart named Bella. This is after Becky's dog named Bella, because Becky found both the dog and the cat for us. So we are eternally grateful to her for that.
And the cat is still named Sam, or?
Yes, it's still named Sam.
But you don't call her Sam. You'll
No.
call him Sam. No.
Dick's cat, my dog. So
I see. Okay.
let's see what else. We're very, very grateful to be living in Vermont. We feel very safe. And so far, our community doesn't have a single case. I think there's like 40 something in the whole state. So we feel very, very lucky. Oh, and the best thing is that we're going to go over to Maine in a week or two. So we'll get to spend time with Peter, Michelle, and Karen. We're kind of hanging on for that. Something to
Good. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait. So it's good to be with all of you.
Now, Hannah, what's going on with you?
It's been a wild couple months. Currently still working at the COVID testing center in Glasgow. Doing kind of like tricked my way into being a data analyst. Don't know how that happened because I don't know what I'm doing, except that mom gave me like a weekend 20-hour introduction to like MySQL database and like building data structures and stuff, which was really interesting. We'll be going back to my normal job in beginning of October. But yeah, Scotland's been doing, pretty good with the crisis. We've kind of healed past the initial. I don't think there's going to be a second wave here. The leader, Nicola Sturgeon for Scotland, has been really, finger to the pulse and not listening to the greater UK government, thank God. But it's been quite cool to see the positive rates drop day by day. And yeah, I'm excited to hopefully see the world go back to normal because I really want to come home. But if I go back to the States, I'm banned.
I saw that you were up in Port Clyde. I mean, Isle of Skye.
Yeah. I took a holiday with some of my friends from here, and my friend has a house in Skye, and so they're selling it soon. So we went up for like a last visit before they sell, and it was lovely. It was really, really nice.
And is your friend Chris still viable?
Oh yeah. Oh, he would come say hi, but he is so awkward on Zoom calls. I can't even tell you.
Well, say hello to him for us.
I will send everyone's hellos, and we'll definitely be up next summer for as long as physically possible.
That's
so I can't wait. Sad it's a whole year away, but
can't wait. Kelsey, what's up with you?
Quite a bit actually. So I don't know if everybody knows, but I got a job. I am a general secretary here on Scott Air Force Base. So I am a federal employee, so I'm kind of like enemy. I don't know. It's fun. So I'm working full time now because of COVID. I'm basically half in the office, half teleworking, going in the mornings, coming home in the afternoons. Yeah, that's fun. I'm a parent without actually being a parent. Got a 7-month-old puppy who's driving me crazy. So, you can hear him barking. I threw him outside because he kept destroying my stuff. I text Devin regularly saying, your dog did this, and your dog woke me up to bark at a toad. Yeah, it's fun. He just destroyed a couple my heating pad because he threw a tantrum. I closed the door to the bathroom while I showered, came downstairs, and my heating pad cord was literally in 20 pieces.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's fun. That's kind of my life right now. He's doing that. Devin is doing okay. There are positive COVID cases on base in Iraq. So basically everything that he could do recreationally has been shut down.
Oh God.
He is not allowed to meet with more than 3 people total at a time. So he's not having the greatest deployment experience, not danger, boredom. He is safe. He's not leaving base. He's not going out and doing anything. He has nothing to do. So it's that. I just want to emphasize he is safe. He's not, in physical danger or anything like that. He is not sick. No one in his immediate squadron is sick. They're trying their best to contain it, but it's very close quarters. There's not the greatest hygiene cleaning abilities out there. So we'll keep an eye on it. We talk pretty regularly. He sends along his love. He misses everybody. He has a countdown. I don't know how accurate that countdown is because the military, whenever you make plans, it laughs and says no. So I am hoping to see him again in 2020. I don't know how accurate that will be in regards to quarantine and, if he has to stay extra 2 weeks wherever he's at, or if he has to do 2 weeks in Germany or we don't know. I'll keep everybody informed as best I can on when he plans on coming home. But I won't expect to see him until he is on a plane planning to land in Scott. That's when I'm saying Devin's coming home. Because when he's on a plane to Germany, that means he might not leave Germany for a period of days, weeks, So yeah, holding on. I've become the person who literally talks to my animals instead of just like, hey, how you doing? It's like an actual conversation. So that's fun. But other than that, holding steady. We're doing good. Base is basically shut down again. I don't leave base often, so what's going on in St. Louis and southwestern Illinois doesn't really affect me all that much in regards to Corona and everything like that. But they're being very proactive in shutting things down and keeping things. So we might be in a second wave. They might should be trying to do whatever they can to not go into a second wave. But yeah, so
we're looking forward to next year.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
So, I see Judy White is there. How are you?
White Bosch self. I started doing loans again. Oh, that's real fun. Now I remember why I didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, you were fun.
No, but the majority of my time is in the garden because it does tend to take a lot of time. I didn't know what I was getting into with such a big garden, but I'm enjoying it. It's wonderful and interesting to get back in the saddle on loans. We met a gal that was a notary and needed a loan. And so if this goes well, she could be a great reference for me. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it.
But you're getting back into the business world.
Yeah, my daughter kind of took the baton from me because she owns a mortgage company. Nicole does.
Yeah.
And so she kind of grew up learning that business, and now I'm working for my daughter. So that's pretty cool, right? So
turnabout's fair play.
Yes, it's a joy watching her. So yeah, it's new and good. Change is good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Same here.
So Patrick and Karen, what are you doing?
Where are they?
All right, we got it. Hi. So as most of you already know, I quit the Red Cross in March and, kicked around for a little while, laid low with the whole COVID thing. And then in May, I got a temporary, horrible job at Amazon. And then on June 6th, as of June 6th, I was working at Catholic Medical Center. July 6th. July 6th, I'm working at Catholic Medical Center right in Manchester. And it's been good so far, I guess.
Doing phlebotomy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still a career stabber.
Yeah.
Congrats on the new job, Patrick. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Congrats. How is it compared to the Red Cross, Patrick? Like how different is it?
Well,
you hated the Red Cross.
Towards the end, yeah, it was just horrible. Well, I mean, the patients are far less entitled for one. It's like they're there. I got to do my job. They're not going to complain, which is huge. I love that. And we do have a COVID wing there. I was there for the first time yesterday. Got 3 active cases right now. It's Manchester's getting the brunt of the cases. We had Manchester had like 23 yesterday, something like that, new confirmed ones. We haven't had any deaths in a while, which thank goodness. But there is something very concerning. The New Hampshire Bike Week is still being held.
Oh,
God.
And the Gail Singer blood drive, which is the largest blood drive in the nation, is still going forward. So I expect in the next month or so to see a huge spike in cases in Manchester and southern New Hampshire. So, you know,
Patrick, the thing with the Bike Week thing is really pretty funny, and so it's a good story with it. They're having Bike Week, but there are no vendors. There are no events.
really?
Nothing. All it is an open field where motorcycles can come and sit.
yes. All right. Well, I mean, it still sounds like a petri dish to me.
Yeah, it is. It will be.
Yeah, and the Gail Singer blood drive, man. I want to contact the Red Cross and say, what the hell are you thinking? But you know, if they're gonna dig their own grave, let them do it.
So now, Karen Carmack, how do you do anything other than, I mean, when I see your thing on Facebook, you must be doing crocheting 24 hours a day.
This morning. That was this week. But no, so back in March when New Hampshire did the mandatory shutdown of non-essential businesses, thankfully my company was still able to remain open. But historically, we don't have anybody who telecommutes. Everybody was always in the office full time. So there was this scramble the first few weeks after the shutdown to basically get our hands on every available laptop that we could order through any, Amazon, Walmart. Like my boss was sending her husband out to remote corners of, the area trying to procure laptops for the company. And ever since then, the majority of my coworkers are work from home, either full-time or part-time. We have a few folks that'll come in like a few hours a day or only specific days of the week. But the vast majority of people are work from home now. I've been really fortunate where I haven't been furloughed. I've just been able to do my job as normal. But there's definitely a noticeable impact on how much business has slowed down. There's a very stark, like between the end of March and then all the months that have followed it, business has been noticeably way down. So every day I'm just grateful that the company is still functioning. So hopefully we were able to procure one of those small business loans, which should help out until the tides turn in a more favorable direction. So, but it's noticeable just seeing all the businesses that we associate with as a company that are non-operational or barely operating. So.
Well, good luck with that. So, Tommy, how's life out in California?
Well, we're proud that we are now the have the most cases of any state in the country. Always leading the way.
Yeah.
From work-wise, our company just went complete telecommuting. I think it was in March. It actually had no impact on me because I actually had not been in the office since January anyway, because I was working from home because I can't stand the office. So that part's had no impact on me at all. Although on April 30th, I was accidentally terminated, but wasn't told. And so that had to be fixed because I actually wasn't supposed to be terminated, but HR had sent me a final check without informing me. So I actually had to talk to my boss and said, hey, did I get a bonus? I just got this really big check. And he said, oh, No, they screwed up. They took you out of the system for some reason, and we don't know why. And they told me that they fixed it, and I guess they didn't. So that was kind of
Did
a
you
hassle.
get to keep the check?
Well, as it turned out, what they did is they had added accrued vacation time. So that's what accounted for the extra amount. I didn't know what it was, but
Yeah.
also I didn't realize I had any accrued vacation time because they did away with vacation. So
Did you have to give the check back, Tom?
no, they told me to keep it. And then they said, well, what we'll do is we'll prorate your actual paycheck. So when I got my actual paycheck, it was $200. So that was interesting. And that unfortunately wasn't the end of that story because I have my office is right here. So all I had was a laptop and I had a monitor at work, and I was told, oh, they've opened up the office so you can go pick it up. So I went in the office and the guards, your badge doesn't work anymore because you don't work for the company.
Oh no.
What? He said, oh yeah, April 30th, your badge was deactivated. I said, oh, so this is the same thing again.
Oh, God.
So the head of HR had to contact the head of security to okay my badge. I was kicked out of the building. My badge was taken away until Monday. And then they fixed that. So now that's all taken care of. Now I have a monitor at home. I'm hoping if things go well that I'll end up retiring maybe sometime during next year. Maybe in hopefully before summer.
Did you check to see if you still have health insurance?
Yes, I did. That was still valid, and my 401k contributions were still going through. So those are two things I double checked. So yeah, I reminded me of Office Space. I was still getting paid, but apparently, according to them, I wasn't working there anymore.
Ventures in corporate America.
But I wasn't sent to the basement. So
That's good.
yeah, so I'm kind of hoping to get out of there by next year if all goes well. Hopefully before summer, so then I have a lot of free time if travel opens up and things like that.
Well, then maybe we'll see you next summer.
Yeah, so then that'll be good. But otherwise, we're mostly staying at home. Unfortunately, because of the virus, I hardly see Karen, I hardly see Allie. We visit once in a while, but very, very rarely. I don't drive anywhere. I think on my car, I actually checked. I got gas in July, and that was the first time I'd gotten gas since February. So I had put 300 miles on the car in about 4 months.
That's
so
amazing.
we're mostly just hanging out here. We are doing walking exercise. So doing a little bit of stuff, but just around the neighborhood mostly.
So now, Allie, how are you and Garrett doing? I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, I guess I have to stand really close. This is uncomfortable because I feel like my face is really close to the screen. Garrett just went to work. So he was furloughed back in March, and then in May they asked him to come back. He's an RV technician. I know some people haven't met him yet. And the RV industry actually is getting pretty busy now because people who do want to travel don't want to stay anywhere else except for their own, personal properties and stuff. So he's been pretty busy. It's also opened up some like side jobs. So like when he does work, like when people come to his like lot, then sometimes the customers will talk to the techs and be like, hey, like this weekend, you think you can come like help work on it, like on the side. So that's been good. For me, well, first, just again, California, Orange County specifically pretty much thought they were invincible. So when LA started shutting things down and San Diego shut things down, they just figured everything skipped us. And I don't know, everything stayed open and it didn't make any sense. When we did shut things down, it was a day before Newsom had said he would reopen things anyway. So again, like nothing seemed to be changing in Orange County, but now things are back to being closed. From a work standpoint, I kind of benefited from it. I didn't have a long commute anymore into downtown LA. So I was like, this is amazing, like working from home kind of thing. They did.
Are you still the written voice of these engineers that you're working with?
Yeah, so what I do is I write proposals for this transportation infrastructure company. So across the company, they reduced everyone's hours back in March just to try to make sure that they didn't have to let anyone go. And it was really cool because it was like from top up, like our CEO too. It wasn't just like us little people. We're now back to 40 hours. I mean, that didn't mean I wasn't still working 40 hours a week because I definitely was. I just wasn't getting paid for it. But we are back at like our normal schedule. They were trying to transition people back into the office, and then the rioting started happening in LA, and I was like, I'm not going in. But for what I do, I help most of our West unit anyway. So a lot of the time I'm not working with people in our LA office. So I feel fortunate that like my immediate director has said, even when people start going back into the office, she does not expect any of us to do that. From a client-based standpoint, a lot of these transportation companies, they anticipated there'd be a lull, but a lot of the public sector actually has been just dishing out so many projects because they want to use up the funding that they have, since it looks like it's not going to be distributed within later this year or next year. So I have not stopped at all. And I think I've been working even more than I already was, which I like, but it was kind of odd when Garrett wasn't working because I would just be here and he'd like, walk in and be like, how's it going? I'm like, still working. And then it'd be like an hour later, like, oh, how's it going now? It's like, still working. Like, I can't do anything with you. I'm sorry. Like, but you can't go anywhere either. So,
well, we're looking
yeah.
forward to you and Garrett coming to South China next year.
I hope so. He was already looking, when we came back last summer, he was already looking to go back.
Well,
because I was like, what are you looking at? And he was like, oh, these are just some houses in Maine. And I was like, wait. But yeah, I get a really
okay. So now, Michelle, besides doing everything in the world at home and taking care of me, of anything else in your life? I can't hear you. You're muted.
There's no time. No, really, seriously, I've been doing a lot of work with the Boston Women's Heritage Trail. Some of you know that I'm very involved with this organization, and the celebration of women's suffrage, that occurred in 1920 was supposed to be a big celebration for 2020, but we put off our huge, big, wonderful parade until October of 2021. There's been a lot of webinars that I've been a part of, and it's just amazing to see these scholars and how they're really paying attention to the process, the painful process of getting women the vote. It's been very interesting. Peter's been right alongside with me listening to podcasts, and, like questions like, are women people? That was a legitimate question that was asked to members of Congress. Are women people? Because if they are people, then they are part of what's protected by the Constitution. Anyway, so that's been a very interesting activity. I've been doing a lot of reading. Most of the books I've been reading right now are based in Maine. Let's see, what else? I'm just so happy to see everybody, and I love hearing what everybody's doing. This just gives me so much hope. And what's going to happen is about another hour, I'll be sad and depressed because I can't see more of you and I can't see you in person. But Peter and I have been very lucky about being in Maine and having this property to enjoy. And I'm going to cry. Bye.
So I told Michelle, and she's told some of her women suffragists friends. I said that I grew up in a family that I was surprised that men had the vote. So anyway, so Karen, besides doing all of the work for Pine Rock, what else is going on in your life? You're muted.
Until I successfully made it here, I was sheltering in place at home, which I must say it does put a test on one's relationship with your significant other. So you best get along or there's trouble in River City. And as Tom mentioned, I saw him maybe twice or three times since the virus began. And that's only because he was kind enough to do Costco shopping for Ron and I, because Ron and I have not gone to a store since the virus began, or well, I shouldn't say, we did go in March, and I think I sent you all a recap of how that went, and that was our last time. We're being extremely cautious. We had been caring for Ron's mother, who's 92, and that arrangement has changed for a lot of reasons. But anyway, but it's scary times, and I was very touch and go whether I was going to come out here and to get out here. I have to share with everybody, it's scarier than shit to travel. I basically wore my own version of a hazmat suit to enter the plane. Everybody was super nice except for one TSA guy, but everybody else was very nice, and I really appreciate kindness more than ever. So
yeah, I flew out to New Hampshire for 4th of July to surprise my mom. So I flew, and going out to New Hampshire was very straightforward. Everybody was wearing masks. It was great. Coming back, the TSA agent stole my hand sanitizer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was fun. But I actually ended up having to isolate myself because I came down with a mild virus. I think I caught it on the plane, but I had a fever of 101 for a hot second. And I went to my doctor, and she's like, we're going to have to test you because you got the fever. You hit the threshold. I'm like, I don't have it anymore. It's at 100. She's like, it doesn't matter. You hit 101, so we're going to test you. It took them 12 days to get my test results back. So I was in quarantine for 2 weeks without any symptoms. My cold went away in 3 days, but I still couldn't go anywhere because I was potentially carrying the plague. So there was a lot of like ordering groceries online, doing the contactless pickup at Walmart. You know, you just order it and they put it in your trunk. You don't talk to anyone. You don't roll down your windows at all.
Yeah.
But everybody at work was like, do you need anything? I'm like, Devin left me with a stocked freezer and pantry because he's paranoid. I'm fine, but I don't have food for my animals. I'm like, I ran out of dog food. Can you get me dog food and cat food? I'm like, I don't have that. So it was fine, but I was literally by myself for 2 weeks for no reason. And I watched all of Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Disney. I watched Hamilton like 4 times. Yeah, so I'm like, now that I'm
all bad,
I'm sharing my life story with everybody because I'm like, it's a human conversation. That's terrific. This is great, you know. So, but yeah, days to get the results back through the hospital system in St. Louis.
So, Booty, what do you have to say? Booty?
Hello, yes. Benoit. Well, yesterday I went down. It was the final move out. We are totally out of the apartment now. Gave back the keys. We moved in here on the hottest day so far of the summer. It was like 97 degrees and the humidity was as hot as you could get. We had at first 2 very strong young men come and help us, and after 6 hours they had to call another guy in because they were moving. Everybody was just moving slow. It was a horrible day to move, and because of that, also our contractor, a lot of the people who were coming in and working on the house developed heat stroke, or were so affected by the heat that they had to take the next day off. They couldn't work 2 days in a row. And so consequently, we are behind in our schedule. We do have hot water now, which is really exciting, even though—
How about air conditioning?
It's going in on Monday.
Yeah, Monday, the air conditioning comes in. But yeah, we did move in that on Monday, no air conditioning. We didn't even have a fan. And,
so Booty, Peter, just to warn you guys for the rest of our lives, whenever we talk about how hot it is, constantly and forever say, well, it was 123.
Yes.
It was 88 degrees at 4 in the morning. Just FYI.
Yeah.
The air conditioner broke during a heat wave, and I'm like dying. It's hot. You know, it's hitting 100 degrees, and I'm like, yeah, this sucks. You know, there's no air. And he, every single time, he's like, well, I have to work in 130 degree in the shade. Just warning everybody from now on.
He wins. Just let him win. Say yes,
Yeah.
Debbie. You win.
It's just gonna be a thing.
It's going to be a thing.
All right,
Good to
got
know.
it.
But we're looking forward to being done, to having all our major systems completed and being able to unpack everything. And we have a really great plan for, and it's interesting, it's the first house we have where we came with a set plan and the furniture that we love and the ideas that we wanted to put into it. So we're hoping it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. And Peter he got the stove of his dreams, and he's got that refrigerator because it was so cool, like yours. So, it's going to be good. And he's done a wonderful job. He put his grill together, so now we can eat food that doesn't come from somewhere else or just cold out of the fridge. And it's glorified camping, you know. But it won't be forever, and it's going to be great. And we want everybody to come up and visit when they can.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And so I'll just say, as we finish this wonderful visit, this makes this peculiar kind of way of having an annual meeting sort of fun, hearing all what's going on with everybody. And in my life, the only thing in my life that's important is that I'm looking forward to September 17th when I'm 90, because after I'm 90, I can do anything I want. So that's really what I'm looking forward to.
And what are you going to do at that time?
Well, I haven't decided. I'm there. And so anyway, thanks everyone for joining in this meeting, and I look forward to hearing from all of you one way or another. And even more importantly, looking forward to seeing you in the flesh at some point and somewhere, somehow. So that's
Becky,
it.
did you have something?
May I add something?
You may.
I just wanted to add that Becky texted her. She's very sad that she wasn't able to attend. She's on one of the tiniest islands in Penobscot Bay, and she said her cell phone signal was just not enough.
Yeah.
And she really misses everyone. So,
Okay.
Oh, it's nice that she got away, though.
yeah.
All righty. See you all later.
I'm raising my hand to speak.
Oh, okay. I was gonna wave bye.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no, not a wave by. This is a wave by. I just wanted to say I'm really enjoying Warren and Judy's backgrounds, and I like them even more when you guys move around a little bit, because most of your body disappears and then all you see is a head. I'm sorry if I was distracted, but I was really enjoying watching that.
That's the literal talking head right here.
That's so funny.
Literally.
All right, guys.
Wait, I one more thing I'd like to say. Usually, you know, when we meet in person, there's usually a birthday celebration in the evening of our annual meeting. Well, this year we have to do a virtual hello and happy birthday to Patrick, who'll be turning 30 August 10th. 30 years old. And then
Happy
Leah has a big 6-0 coming September 15th. And of course, Peter is 90 on, what is it? Oh, September 17th. And there's a 7-5 coming up in December. I won't say who that is. You'll never guess. Anyway, so happy birthday to you all. And I wish you were here so we could celebrate your special birthdays. And maybe we'll do a birthday party on Warren's new pontoon boat. What is the name of the boat, Warren?
Toby's ride right now.
No. I
Oh, God. All right. Well, all right. I'm signing out. Love seeing everybody.
Bye, everybody.
This is a goodbye wave, officially.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.